I grew up in this house. I remember growing up in Tomlinson Depot in that house. It was shiny. It was clean. I remember my dad in his uniforms. I think he had 3 sets, but I loved the ceremonial one, where it was a blue uniform with golden stripes. I remember him polishing his boots. I remember my dad and his trumpet. I remember growing up surrounded by love. I remember going to the police display. That was the highlight of my year. I remember going to the agricultural show. I remember as a child being involved in a very, very terrible accident, and both my arms got burnt. I remember how my dad and my family and everybody was involved in my life. I remember that time very well, even though I was very young. I remember being so loved. I remember my dad. I remember Sister V. I remember Apiri. I remember my grandmother. I remember my dad at home, at his workplace when we moved in Chitungwiza. I remember my dad when we went fishing, he took me fishing. I remember his friends. I remember my uncles, my aunties. I remember how much he loved his family. I remember when my granddad died. I remember the pain that my dad went through when Petronella passed away. It was hard for him. I remember his pain. But when I think about the love that he had for me, and the love that he had towards a lot of people, and how hard it was for him at the end, it pains me. But there are some people who stood up, who were outstanding. Babana Maidumba, my childhood friends, Irene, Wisdom, Katie. They did everything that they could. Even when I did not send them to go and check, they checked on him. I remember the day he passed on and how I got the news where I was. I remember that. I remember my world crashing. They say time heals wounds. I hope the saying is true, because for me, that is yet to take place. But I remember how he taught me to love my family, my brothers and sisters, and the whole family at large. And that's how I live my life. I live my life by his example towards my children. My children knows that I love them. I will be there for them anytime, any place, anywhere. That was his standard, and that's my standard. I believe in God. That's his standard. That's my standard. So this year, yes, I do celebrate his life. I intend to make this day bearable. I have planned some things with Petronella. That's fun. So hopefully you will enjoy it. Baba, rest in peace. You will always be in my heart. You are a part of me. Thank you for my life.